What's up, ladies and Reginalds? It's me, LegendBTV, with another concert diary. Let's go before I have to pee. Yeah! Like the last one didn't rhyme. Okay, let's go.
I was sneaking into darkness, something to hold on. Find you where you were.
We ended up seeing Jonas Brothers. Yes, the Happiness Begins tour. It was really sick. And yes, happy late birthday, Nick. Ooh. Alright, so this concert diary, I'm actually just going to cut to the chase and get to what happens when I actually attended the show. So I showed up actually about an hour early, and there was this DJ they had playing there, and he was like spinning some tracks and stuff, actually remixing a lot of like current pop songs and pop songs from like a couple of years ago and stuff like that, like recent pop music. And I don't know if everybody was just like impatient or just like trying to wait for the Jonas Brothers or not, but what sucked was like this dude they hired, nobody was paying him like any attention whatsoever, and I was just kind of like sitting back there like, dang. I mean, there were a few people that were dancing, kind of like, nodding their head to the songs. But, like, literally, they had, like, a crowd of people in front, like, in the pit waiting for Jonas Brothers. And they had a crowd of people in the back where the DJ was. And literally, like, yeah, barely any people over there were even, like, dancing along to the DJ. So I couldn't even help but just think about how awkward it must have been for the actual guy himself to be over there spinning the tracks, kind of trying to bop and everything, to a uninterested crowd. And I'm just like, oh my god, y'all paying him dirt. He actually had some decent remixing skills, and I'm like, y'all must not, y'all be sleeping on DJs, for real, like, for shame. I mean, for real, like, the epic bass, along with just, like, yeah, the remixing of the tracks just gave him a really unique sound, and they just made him totally bop-worthy. Alright, so yeah, along with that, there was just another other thing. I mean, most of the time people were just sitting there like this. Oh, what time is it? Waiting for Jonas Brothers to get on the stage and rock their socks off like an SOS. Oh, like the year 3000. Oh. So yeah, there was this girl that kind of like, tapped on my shoulder or whatever. Let me just talk a little bit about what I was wearing that night. I was wearing like a button-up kind of like this. It had bananas on it. It was that one I showed you in that other video where I did like a clothing haul thing.
Then maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. Well, baby, I've been doing this for so long.
It was my banana shirt, right? I mean, I was just kind of flexing the nanners, right? Someone actually noticed that, and she tapped on my shoulder, and she was like, hey. And I was like, what? And she was like, are you going bananas right now? And then she just started dying laughing, and I was like, and I remember the look on my face. I was like, for a split second I didn't know what she was talking about. Then I looked down and I was like, oh, if you guys were there, it was totally a laugh-worthy experience. Okay. Then of course there was the concessionary, which of course, as with all concerts, was ridiculously high. I mean, $9 for a Papa John's pizza, like a personal size, like, little one,
$9 for this?
Like, nah, fam, we don't stand. And then, of course, like, six freaking dollars for a drink, and I'm like, are you kidding? Like, really, dog? So basically, yeah, the opening acts for the Happiness Begins tour were Jordan McGraw and Bebe Rexha. So first up was Jordan McGraw, right? You may know him. He is son of Dr. Phil McGraw. So, yeah, he also makes music, apparently, yeah. I'll be honest, I have actually heard of, Jordan McGraw. This station called Sirius XM Hits 1 plays some of his songs. So I've heard his songs like Flexible and stuff like that. So I knew a couple of Jordan McGraw songs. I didn't know that many of them, but I did know some of his music. So the show kind of went the standard way. Like, we kind of just set to the show. We just, like, got up, started dancing to his songs, because they honestly were pretty catchy. And you know what I mean? The rock grooves really got you just in the hizzy, And I was like, hey, yeah. So everything was fine and good until he starts saying this. He starts saying, thank you for being such an amazing audience. And I'm just like, oh, that's sweet. He's all like, yo, come out to, like, the hallway of the concert, the concert hall of ways, And he goes, I'm going to, take a picture with you, sign some cards or whatever. That all sounded fine and good. What he uttered was that we were going to come back, and he said, then it'd be time for Bebe Rexha, right, the next opening act. And I thought, in theory, that sounded all fine and good. I was like, all right, cool, let's go meet this guy, because he did a good job, and he's got some talent, and the show was fun. He seems like a nice guy, which he was, There's no problem with him, but my problem was, what actually ended up happening whenever I went to go get an autograph from this guy, right? What happened was, he said was like, you'll be able to get back in his time to see Bebe Rexha. Well, I don't know if he just had a lack of confidence in himself that many people were going to actually show up or what. But there was like literally 200 people in the line to go see him. And like literally we weren't even like halfway through the line. And like I could already hear like inside the, back where the concert was, that Bebe Rexha was starting. And I was like, oh no, sis. Oh, And I was like, ooh, I was like unstanding left and right, I had to just listen through the door, basically. I had to, you know what I mean? Like, I just had to kind of, like, hear it. So, I didn't even get to see what she looked like, unfortunately, which, bummer. I didn't even get to see, like, yeah, you know what I mean? I didn't even get to see any of the choreo she was doing, probably, or just, heck, I didn't even get to see her sing. I just had to, like, listen to the muffled sound through there. But I know she did, like, Me, Myself, and I'm a Mess, In the Name of Love, Meant to Be, Call You Mine. But yeah, like I was trying to hurry to get back to my seat, but by then, the entire Bebe Rexha show was over.
Break it down.
And I can't believe it. I missed the entire show! But then finally, Jonas Brothers took the stage, and oh my god, yes. Like, hearing them live was a lot better than hearing them on the studio Happiness Begins album, so I really was, like, happy that I can enjoy these songs a lot more with the, authentic instrumentation. And of course, just seeing the guys themselves. They were all like dressed up at points, and there were some wardrobe changes. There were some cool, like, pyrotechnical, like, the budget was there. The show definitely was well thought out, well designed. There was a lot of, like, introspective moments between, like, Kevin and his son or whatever, or Kevin as a kid, or the Jonas Brothers. Or, like, Jonas Brothers, like, as a family, and the fact that they are brothers. There was a lot of, like, brotherly moments, if you will. And it honestly was just really sweet. It was a really sweet show. And literally, the audience during Jonas Brothers' part of the show, everybody else, they were like, whatever. But when the Jonas Brothers came on, literally, I thought my eardrum was going to burst. The screaming was incredibly loud. They even outscreamed the Shawn Mendes stands. I can't even believe I'm saying that, because the Mendes army was loud, but the Joe Bro army was even louder. Oh my god. My seats honestly were pretty good. I think you know what I mean? Like, I actually was just like 5 or so rows actually away from the pit, which I think is, pretty solid. There were parts where, like, Kevin, Joe, and Nick were, like, running down the middle of the thing, right close to where I was. So, and, like, they weren't giving out that many high fives. Unfortunately, they kind of had to, like, dash and go. But I can at least say I was within 1 foot of a Jonas Brother. I was within 1 foot of all 3 Jonas Brothers at some point in my life. So, I mean, go me. It's my birthday. Anyways, yeah, this has been pretty much the story portion of the concert diary. And yeah, here is some crazy footage.